I am Greg Leuch. I'm head of product at Poncho. My responsibility is to design, build, plan, do everything related to Poncho. That includes our chatbots on Facebook Messenger, Kik, and Viber. We also have an Android and iOS app. We also have email and SMS, which Poncho's been around for 3.5, 4 years. So we have all this really cool legacy stuff, but we're also pushing the edge on all this new conversational interface and interactive experiences.
Awesome. And then just Poncho itself, like what's like your 10-second, 30-second pitch of what Poncho is?
Poncho is all right. Poncho is a weather cat. He tells you the weather every day with a fun, sassy sort of voice, trying to be your best friend.
Cool.
And there's a lot of fun conversations and interactions that you can do with Poncho through the messaging platforms.
Awesome. How did you end up in the bot space? Like, was Poncho always a bot? Did it start as something else? How did you?
That's a great question. So Poncho started, as I said, with email and SMS. Totally just notification based. But when Facebook launched the Facebook Messenger platform at F8, they asked us to be one of the launch partners. So we had a month to figure out how to build a conversational interface with the character, figure out all the do's and don'ts. And since then, we've just been able to make this really great, colorful, playful messenger bot that just tells you the weather, but chats about everything else that you can think of.
Awesome. So in terms of the spectrum between chattiness, conversational, or like more lightweight app like buttons, like is there like this? Do you feel like one is better than the other, or like what is your feeling on that? There seems to be a little bit of discussion within the bot community.
This is this is such a deep question.
Easy question.
Easy, so easy. So when I get asked this, I just tell people I don't care. Like, it really depends on the bot that you're building. For Poncho, we use buttons to suggest parts of the conversation and make it easier for people that just want the weather, or they just want that one thing. But there's so many users that want to chat with it, play with it, feel a little bit better about themselves. So conversational interfaces also work really well for us.
Cool.
That doesn't work for every bot. So depending on what your use case is, what you're trying to do, how much of a technical team you have, and how much you want to spend time doing editorial content and everything else, buttons work well, conversation works well.
Awesome.
It really just depends.
I love Poncho because of many of the Easter eggs that I found within it.
Yeah.
Is there one that you particularly love that you think maybe a lot of people don't know about, or just which one do you really like?
I think, and this is one that I did, and I put this into the bot. I am a designer, but I'm also an engineer, so I love nerdy engineering jokes. So if you ever type pseudo plus something else, Poncho gives you a really great response.
Awesome.
And I've only seen a handful of people ever find that Easter egg.
Yeah,
but
I
guess
can't
now
imagine why I would ever type pseudo into a bot, but now I will
now
try
that you
that
can,
in every bot.
you're gonna try all these like hacker commands like RM, RF,
Yeah, right?
everything else.
Throw in some SQL injection.
Exactly, cross scripting.
Super nerd. Anyway, we took a little bit of nerd game. Cool. So in terms of like looking into the future for conversational UI, where do you think we're going?
I honestly see all this going into the complete package: audio, text, video. And especially with us being a character bot, like thinking about how Poncho would express himself, interact, be dynamic, adaptive based on your input commands. Like, I could see this as a fully featured, fully immersive experience. So, I think a lot of this is leading to how we're going to interact with new devices through AR, VR, you name it. And I think text is just kind of the beginning of all this. And it's just a whole new paradigm shift of both engineering as well as design thinking to basically make really great apps that are useful for people.
Great. And you mentioned personality there. How important is personality to Poncho?
Personality is everything. Editorial content, absolutely important. This is why users come back to it. It's why we have such great retention, is users like what Poncho says and does. And it's fresh, it's always different. It's adaptive based on what their user feedback, like it keeps everything new, keeps everything fresh. And that's, for us, that's key.
Cool. And just to finish things up, thinking back on you personally, like, was there a moment in your life that you remember that kind of interested you in technology, or like you found like this website or this like device or this like mobile? Okay.
So I was in 8th grade, and this was way back in the GeoCities days. And my friend showed it to me, and I was like, this is really cool. I'm going to create as many web pages as possible. And
GeoCities, you said?
GeoCities. And so this was like 97, 98, 99, I think. Yeah, 98. And I remember there was like the WYSIWYG interface, but it really sucked. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start learning HTML and doing all this stuff. And that just led me down this career path. And I was visiting my parents for the holidays last year.
Yeah.
I was digging through a bunch of old notebooks looking at stuff, and one of the notebooks was from 2002. And I had sitting here and written out like a list of really interesting AIM bots to be built. So conversational interfaces has been something I've just been thinking about for a long time.
Awesome.
But what I think the funniest thing is the first one that's listed was WeatherBot. And I'd completely forgotten about this list. And then
It was just sitting back there.
it was just sitting in a big pile in a box somewhere. And I'm just flipping through and I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I was actually thinking about this stuff 10, 15 years ago. And here I am now working for a weather chatbot.
Awesome. Keep your old notebooks, everybody.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you, Dennis.